I really look at candidates that work their way through college. I love it if they wait tables and went to college because that means their work ethic there.
It's a great vetting process.
I love that.
Just anyone, like, have you ever waited tables in general? If they said yes, it's like a good check mark.
Yes, it's like you're already going to round two. Like, I just want to see you for round one. Yes, round two. I hire slow and I fire fast. I used to do the opposite. I'd be like, Jen, you're hired. Mark, you're hired. And then like, but you don't know anything about me. It's okay, I need a butt in the seat, let's go. And then it's like, oh God, I gotta fire Mark and Jen.
Yeah. Let's get this rolling. Welcome to a special edition of the Jen Marc Podcast. Jen Cox here while John is out on paternity leave as my co-host. And we have a special guest coming in live in Texas from Alabama, Steve Mezrano.
Thank you all for having me.
You have the least Alabama lawyer last name I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's what you get when you're 100% Lebanese. There's no Smith, Jones. I mean, it's just straight up.
Before we started, we were chatting. We've worked with you for a little bit. You're like low-key one of our favorite lawyers to hang out with. Whether I met you for the first time last night, but the team as a whole, like internally love you.
We want to brag about the team for a second because y'all, I can totally brag about this team. Let me just tell y'all, we had the best time shooting the brand videos. The team came in, and it was so much fun. Like, just a great group of people came in, collaborated, they listened to what my vision was, what I thought, they had what they knew works. It was able to collaborate together, which I thought was kind of awesome. And then we just had fun. Like, everything was fun. Like, nothing was too serious. Nobody, if we had an idea, we're like, okay, let's just see where it goes, see where it takes us. And so we're shooting, and somebody goes, hey, did you know you could go shoot on the top of Red Mountain and you could oversee the city? And I'm like, there's a spot? They're like, yeah. We're like, well, let's go. And we just loaded up in cars and we just drove out there, and it was awesome, dude. So I got to give hats off. Y'all have an amazing staff. I have to just say, start off with Noah and Nick and Matthew. The film crew guys were off the chain. Kristen's probably best account executive I've worked with. So kudos to you guys. You got an awesome team, dude.
I love to hear that. Thank you so much for saying
John's okay. I'm just going to tell y'all, but this is what a dream team is.
Yeah. Enjoy your time off, John. No need to come back anytime soon.
Still love you though, bro.
He's got major FOMO right now. He's just,
He's got baby duty, man.
Baby duty.
Told him, I texted him last night. I said, this was my favorite time with the kids was the late night feedings because it was me and the kids, and then Ashley would want to get up. So it was me and Ashley and the kids or a baby. And we would watch old reruns of sitcoms that we either never saw or loved to watch. So it was like Yes Dear, Friends, How I Met Your Mother, Seinfeld, Reba. We watched all these sitcoms with the kids when they were babies, and we would just sit on the couch. I don't know how we slept, and everybody's like, oh, it's so miserable. Dude, those were the best times. Like, if I could go back and do those were great. I love those times.
When you have a newborn, you're very much in the moment where you can't really think about much else besides keeping that little tiny baby alive.
Just, dude, it's the greatest feeling in the world. Like, your whole stress, well, for me, holding that baby, looking at him, knowing what that baby means in the life that you brought into this world, dude, nothing else mattered. Like, forget the stress of the law firm, forget the stress of the farm, like, just peace, man. Just sitting there holding this kid, like, there's nothing you could do that could mess with me right now. So I loved it. Like, it was just the greatest. I tell people all the time, you hear people complain about not sleeping. It was the best, man. It was the best feeling in the world for me.
Sounds like Steve's about to have another one.
If I could, dude, I'd be. Mama? No, I'm just kidding.
I'm not sure the wife feels the same.
Oh, she would do another one? Absolutely.
So a little bit about you. So you are known for being a personal injury lawyer, but before that, your primary love is you're a rancher and a farmer.
So before going to law school, my primary job was marketing and advertising. So that kind of makes me a little bit dangerous, I think. Yeah. And I started off
very good skill set
as a
going
media
into
buyer.
into personal injury.
So I started off doing sports marketing at the University of Alabama as an intern.
All right.
So the group of guys I worked with, they created the elephant noise for Alabama, and then I played it during a third down. It was kind of a weird, Alabama intercepted the ball, and it was like, ooh, we got to play that more often. I moved to the baseball and I played music when they were in between innings and for batters. It was just so much fun. Got a job as an account executive and I did advertising. And then my father-in-law always said I argue too much. Yeah. So like I grew, I guess back in the 80s it was little kids are supposed to be seen and not heard, and that was just not my forte. So I thought because I studied history in school and I liked to watch the History Channel back in the day, you want to argue politics, you want to argue history, I'm all about it. And so my grandfather kept saying, look, dude, you need to be a lawyer. And I was like, whatever. And so he had Alzheimer's and he kept telling me that, this is the part that I don't know if he truly was not lucid, or maybe he was lucid. But he basically telling me that I reminded him of his grandson and that he was just a big waste of space because he wasn't living up to his potential. Mm-hmm. And he's he's chasing some dream to go play music for sporting events, and he should be in law school, he should be a lawyer. And so on his deathbed, I told him I'd go to law school, and so I did. It was after law school that I married Ashley, and we moved on to her family farm. For a wedding present, her dad and I went in and bought the house that he was born in. And it was just supposed to be a weekend getaway, right? Weekend getaway?
Sure.
No. It's literally about 45 minutes outside Birmingham, but we moved there. So we had an opportunity to buy a house near my practice in Homewood or build at the farm. Mm-hmm. And so we put a contract on the house, and the guy rejected it. So I called a contractor and said, okay, start construction. And God has a funny way of playing with you, I think, sometimes. So guy says no. We say, okay, we're going to live out here. We're going to build the house. And y'all, if I'm lying, I'm dying. Not even 30 seconds after I get the phone call that they're starting construction, they knocked out the first wall to demo the house that we live in. The guy calls me and says, I'll take your offer if you're still interested in moving to the house. And I'm like, no. I'm like, we made up our mind. We're staying here. This is where we are. I was kind of funny how God does things, right? So then we stayed here. And then really I got into probably, cowboy ranching probably about 4 years ago. We had a mama cow who died at birth. And so messed up her hip. We tried to nurse her back to health. She died. She had a baby on the ground. We started bottle feeding it. Then my son he wanted to bottle feed it. And so Ferdinand, the steer, is still on our property today. And he listens to my son. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen. He escapes pastures. He'll listen to Anthony. He'll come to Anthony. Anthony can put a halter on him and lead him back to the other pastures or across the fence. It's so funny because if I do it or my father-in-law, he will drag you all over the place. Jump, run away from you, push you to the ground. With Anthony, he's just like a teddy bear and just okay, where you want to go? So that's what got us into showing cattle. We started raising Hereford cattle, and so yeah, my life's now consumed of practicing law and doing cows with the wife and kids.
Those are usually known as 2 full-time jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely love it though. Somebody was making fun of me last night. They're like, I love watching you work, and I'm like, why? They're like, you're in this deep conversation about how to maneuver a case, how to talk to a judge, what evidence you need. And he's literally within 30 seconds, you're on the phone talking genetics with this veterinarian, trying to figure out why these cows aren't getting pregnant, to on the phone with your kids about where it needs to go. And then you're back on the phone with somebody at your office talking about it. It was fun to watch it. And I was like, I don't know, it's just what I do every day. So it's not odd to me, so I just love it.
It's gotta be a good stress reliever, grounder from the day-to-day kind of high wire running a PI firm of what's going on.
It's the funniest thing because when it's time to bush hog pastures, my wife and I used to fight to see who could get up early in the morning and go get on the tractor to get away from the world for 4 hours in bush hog pastures. And so we would race. I would turn off her alarm so I could get out of the house and get on the tractor first, or vice versa.
Steve!
Yeah, it's I got it. I'm bush hogging today. And now we have to fight our 14-year-old on who gets to cut hay and bale because he's rushing to get out there. Now our 12-year-old's rushing, so everybody's got to get on a tractor and do something. But it is to me, it's a total stress reliever. I don't know how to explain it, even when you're just feeding cows at night or watching them eat hay, or if you're having to shovel poop out of a stall and clean their stalls. It's just something about it. It's just, I don't know, I guess you're just one with nature. It's calming, it's hard work, and kind of get rid of the stress. nothing really matters in that moment. Your world is just focused right there.
So I grew up in the city. I originally moved to Atlanta from Canada when I was a kid. Lived in Atlanta, regular, like in the suburbs and stuff like that. Then I went to school in like the South, like South. Like I went to Georgia Southern University in Statesboro, Georgia. If you've never been, it's in the middle of fucking nowhere. But it was like, then I started to like, just like, everyone I met was like, grew up farming.
Yeah.
And like, then I would go hang out in Statesboro, like in other small towns in the middle of nowhere and talk to them like they're farming, like get to experience their life, get to experience the outdoors, fishing, hunting, all these things I didn't experience before. And I was like, oh, this is so nice.
Yeah.
I was like, these people have no worries in the world. They're happy. They're in good mood. They're not stressed out about something. They're welcome to everyone.
Except if you're working cows.
Oh, yeah.
Just gonna say, you seen the memes?
Yeah.
I didn't mean to yell at you.
Yeah, I had one guy I knew who was a dairy farmer, and he was very stressed all the time.
Yeah, I could see that.
A lot of work. But it's interesting to get exposure to different like paths of life, and like, being connected to nature, working with your hands instead of being in an office all day. There's something satisfying about that versus, the life we live in big cities where you're bustling around at all times.
I think what it gives for me is it gives the kids a different perspective too. Like, it doesn't matter what the weather is outside. It doesn't matter what type of mood you're in. You have to get up and you have to go take care of these animals. Mm-hmm. So it could be 32, 24. I mean, I think the worst has been is 24 degrees outside, and then you've got a sick cow on the ground, and you've got to go figure out how to nurse it, get an antibiotic, got to get it from the pasture up to the barn. And so I think what it does is it teaches the boys and my daughter, like, look, no matter what life throws at you, you cannot stop. Like, you have to go take care of this, right? So you could be out dinner having fun with your friends, and you come back to the house and something's sick, something's down. You're out there helping pull calves at midnight or 2 o'clock in the morning on New Year's, pulling calves out of a heifer. It just shows them what they have. And so I think what it's going to do, and I hope what it's going to do, is when they become adults and they either leave the farm and they get jobs and they understand, like, hey, it doesn't matter what your boss is like, doesn't matter what this is the job, go get it done. You work, there is no quit, like, just get it done. Yeah. And that's like that's the thing that I'm hoping, because I don't know where the stop is. I don't know, like, quit's not in my vocabulary. I'm like, if you tell me I can't, I will.
Oh, we've still told Steve many times he shouldn't do something, and at dinner last night, and it didn't stop him at all.
That steak was so good, though.
It's interesting. We have, I run my own company, and we hire a bunch of people, and the biggest challenge I have right now is talent, right? Oh, yeah. And there's a generational talent gap for the younger generation, because they don't have that ethos built into them of, like, the work's got to get done, and, like, pride in your work. There's a lot, like, hey, you signed up to do something, whether you want to stick with this job or not. You said you're going to do it, and you put your best foot forward. If you want to leave this job down the road, that's fine. But, like, you got hired to do this. You should have pride in your work output. And there's just this big gap of happening in the youth where that's not getting filled in today, and just seems to be missing.
So I wonder if it's like, oh, you get a trophy and you get a trophy. Yeah. It's like, but I didn't accomplish anything, but you got a trophy. Yeah. It drives me, I don't know, it just drives me bananas. Maybe that's a whole other podcast, guys. But what I see is the same thing as when you're hiring, whether it's new lawyers or paralegals, you're looking for the right talent to fit your team. Mm-hmm. And it becomes really hard, especially for me, because I demand excellence, like I demand perfection. I don't know, like, I don't half-ass anything, and I don't want anybody else to half-ass. If I am giving up being home with my wife and kids because there's a case or a client, I expect the same. I expect the same type of commitment from the lawyers or from the paralegals. If I'm leaving at 7 o'clock at night to go to the hospital to sign a case up because there's an issue and I call you, come on, like, you better go. Like, this is a case. Like, I'm not calling you to have a friend. I'm calling you because there's a client in need. We got to go. And it's amazing to me how many people that we've interviewed be like, yeah, well, that can kind of wait till tomorrow. And I'm like, guys, there's a difference in when you have a JD behind your name or you're working in certain type of industries. Like, you're called to this. This isn't an 8 to 5 type of deal. Like, you're called to a service. And so you have to have a lot of want to, you have to have a lot of desire, you have to have a lot of hunger. And I think what happens is they go through law school or they go through college and they're told somewhere through college or law school, you're worth X and this is what you should get and you don't have to work to get there. And unfortunately, that the people that are in charge now, like us, we grew up where there was nothing beneath you to go take the trash out of the trash cans if you wanted to work your way up to the top. Like you stayed to 8 o'clock and finished a project to turn it in a day earlier so your boss recognized what you could do work-wise. And now they don't care if they miss a deadline because they were never held accountable in school. If they missed a deadline, there were no consequences. And so now when they get faced with consequences, their choices are easy. I'll just quit and go find something else. There's no commitment, there's no dedication, there's no pride. So, and when you start finding people that have that, like you hold on to them and then you try to create your team around those people and try to build something special.
Yeah,
it's hard.
I think that's our hardest thing to find is those people. I have an amazing group of people that like the team that you've met and worked with are that way. Like Kristen, she's a G. Whatever you need from her, she'll get it done. Like Jen runs an amazing team. She's on our exec team, and she rose through the rankings because it was like the work's got to get done, and like if there's no one there to do it, Jen's like rolling up her sleeves like, I guess I'll do it. It's not below me to do a task.
No.
If it needs to get done, it has to get done. Like that's the mentality, right? I'm the same way. And it's like, how do you, in this generation, vet and find that talent that's a good fit for your firm? Because you have different roles. You have people that are coming out of law school. You have people that are paralegals. You have like admin people, a varying amount of people across the firm.
I think advertising is all about getting the word out for when you have a job opening. So depending on like if it's marketing or case manager or paralegal, you go to the criminal justice at the different local colleges, you use social media, Indeed, ZipRecruiter, what is it now, the new, Wirehire, whatever it's called. There's all these different programs or apps you can like put stuff in, but to me it's the interview process. So I really look at candidates that work their way through college. Mm-hmm. I love it if they wait tables and went to college because that means there's a work ethic there.
It's a great vetting process.
I love that.
Just anyone, like, have you ever waited tables in general? If they said yes, it's like a good check
yes,
mark. Right
it's like
there.
you're already going to round 2. Like, I just want to see you for round 1. Yes, round 2. And then, like, to me, it's the interview process. So we do kind of a 2 or 3 pronged interview process, and it takes a while. So I hire slow and I fire fast. I used to do the opposite. I'd be like, Jen, you're hired. Mark, you're hired. And then like, but you don't know anything about me. It's okay, I need a butt in the seat, let's go. And then it's like, oh God, I gotta fire Mark and Jen. Yeah. Well, I don't have a replacement for them yet, so I'll drag it out. And then you're miserable, the team's miserable, and it creates really a bad cancer culture. So what I started to do was, okay, first interview is you meet with the COO of the company. If you pass COO and HR, then your next thing is you meet with the team leads. And if the team leads like you and everybody's on board, the final interview is me, or in the second interview, they'll come grab me and I'll sit down. And it's just, I think it's a variety of questions that we ask in terms of trying to understand character, trying to understand how they'll handle certain situations. And then when it comes to the actual lawyers, we go to dinner. Mm-hmm. And so I want to see how are they treating their spouse, how are their girlfriend, or how are they acting with the lawyers when we're in an environment where you're eating and drinking and you're socially like,
that's a good one.
How are they communicating? Are they getting sloppy drunk? Are they like watching what they drink? Because once you get one drinking, you kind of get relaxed and people start talking.
Do they badmouth other people?
Yeah,
Do they get a couple drinks in them? Like that kind of stuff.
You start badmouthing your firm that you're at. I don't want you.
Yeah.
And so, but I really loved, and a guy told me this is what he did, and I thought this was great. He said, look, we went to dinner with our wives, and I watched how he treated his wife.
Yeah.
I watched his cues with her and how he talked to her and how he introduced her and how he did things. And I was like, well, what does that tell you about somebody? He goes, dude, it's all about their character. Mm-hmm. And I was like, and then we started doing that, and there was a cultural shift in the firm where we always said the firm was, I always started with God family firm, right? Mm-hmm. Like, grew up Catholic, go to church every morning, and figured God was always a center part of my life. And then I was like, family's got to be second, like my wife, my kids, and then the law firm. And somehow we kind of lost sight of that in a way where the family became people within the firm and not necessarily like my own family. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but it was kind of weird. We were always together. And so like the people in the firm, like we grew, like 4 or 5 of us got really close, and we did everything together, and we were like wife, kids, something outside. And then there was a shift that we had where people kind of didn't like that. Like they thought like they got jealous of the relationship or whatever. And so I really had to sit back and go, like really and truly, it's got to go God. It's got to go your personal family. And if people know how to separate their family and contend to their family and then take care of the firm, everything else works itself out, right? And so, I started trying to reiterate that. And so I was like, if somebody's treating their wife a certain way and they're putting that person second, and I like to see, are you going to pray before you eat? Like, I love being Catholic going, you breaking out that sign of the cross? Are you saying that prayer? Like, I'm watching you. Like, are you bowing that head? Like, I mean, I don't know. To me, it just makes a difference. It makes a difference in how they respect the client. They respect their teammates. They respect me as the owner of the firm. And it just kind of evolved. And I mean, we're 10 lawyers deep now, and it just changed the culture of the firm. It changed how everybody treated each other. Like, we are super tight. And so when you say God family firm, there's like God, and there's 2 divisions of family. There's our family, and there's the law firm family, and they're woven together where people really do take care of each other on both sides. So if somebody needs something, like if you're stranded on the side of the roadway, I could call any of the lawyers and they'd come get me. Like, if my family's stuck somewhere, I know I could call somebody and they would help us out. And then everybody like supports the firm and does what they have to do to make the firm great. So it's just a cultural thing that I think that you have to go through when you're looking at these new kids and see, do they fit within your culture? So like the 2 to 3 day interview is like really huge, because you can walk in day 1 and have an amazing interview, walk into day 2 and you just screwed the pooch. I mean, like,
I've had
shit the bed, I guess. I mean, whatever you want to say it.
We've all had a couple of those, and I'm like, man, I can't wait for this person. I'm so excited. And then 30 days later, I'm like, get him. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, how did I miss this? I thought I was a good judge of character.
We had one today. They had one today. They called me up and they said, hey, man, we really love this girl. She was amazing interview. And I said, okay, we'll bring her in for round 2. Let the rest of the team meet her, see what's going on. And they brought her in and overtalked everybody, went and listened to the final questions. I don't know if she was nervous or what, but really tried to push her own agenda of what I guess she thought or what she figured intake was or what it meant, and turned everybody off. And they were like, nah. Like, they were all so disappointed. They were like, man, we really thought like, and I'm like, so I was like, guys, you have a choice. You can bring her back for round 3. And that's when I get back in town. And if she's the same way, then nix her. If she does great, then she had a bad day. Y'all's call. And they're like, dude, she was just a totally different person. Like, they didn't think it was a bad day. They just think like she put on an act for the first interview. And I'm like, okay, well then move on. Like, there's somebody else out there. Just got to find them.
Fast mask drop, one interview to the next.
Dude, you ought to see it. Like, we bring lawyers back and we get into attorney meetings and we'll like sit them down and say, okay, evaluate a case. And there is no faking it till you make it. Like, you better know what you're talking about, and you can watch their attitudes completely change in attorney meetings. And we start evaluating cases or the process we work, and you're like, yeah, you're not going to be a fit here. Like, you said all the right things in the first interview. You don't know what you're doing in the second interview.
I'm taking a lot away from this. Like, we're trying to redo our hiring process. We had a lot of growth, and for a long time, at the beginning, it was me like, my recruiting job was selling people to come. Like, when I got Jen, we're like, hey, we promise we're going to do big things. We don't have any benefits. We don't have health care. One day soon, we'll have health care. But like,
she bought into the vision.
She bought into the vision. But so we're selling whatever. Like, I was con man. I had to convince her to come over. But
was it hard?
So I was in such a weird place. I was trying to get out of my previous job, but I was going through these interviews and getting to the 3rd and 4th and not making it. And I was like, what the fuck am I doing that I'm getting this far? And then they called and I was like, this is a new thing. Like, this is a new type of SEO I hadn't done before. I was working in travel SEO. This is legal, whole new world, clean slate, dove in head first. Because saw their vision.
The first, once again, I love Jen because she took the leap, and because of that, we're like forever grateful, and she worked out. We had a lot of people who took the leap that did work out, but she is where she is because she took a leap, and she saw an opportunity and she took it. But like originally for us, it was like, that's what we're doing. I was like, any buttered seat I can get is I'm gonna get. And like we did that for a long time because at some point, like the work's got to get done, and you need a warm body to do the work at some point. And we've gotten to the point where like we need to be more selective in hiring, and if you get a wrong hire, it really negatively affects the people. And like we need to slow it down, take more time. I've seen people that are like incredible interviewers. It's almost like deceiving how good they are, but like they know they change jobs every year or two. They've got the talk down to get a new job.
That's got to be a red flag. If you're gone in 12 months, 24 months, I don't even want to look at you, to be honest with you. If I see it multiple times on a resume, I'm like, automatic red flag. And I don't know where that came from in my mind, but I just kind of feels like you have no stability. You're always looking for something bigger or better. I don't know. I say we take them all and put them on the farm and make them work. If they can work
I
the
think
farm,
that's I think it's a great vetting process.
you get enough cow poop all over you and you still want to come back tomorrow, you're hired.
What's your do you have like go-to interview questions you like to ask in the final interview?
I think with lawyers, it's where do you see yourself over the next 5 or 10 years? And if the answer is with your law firm or, well, with a firm that's, I'm like, no. Like, I want somebody to tell me, I want to be the best trial lawyer out there. I want to make sure I get the highest verdict in whatever. Or I want to be able to do X, Y, and Z. Then I'm like, okay, tell me how you're going to get there. What are you going to do to get there? Because that was my approach when I started. When I left Shannara and I started my own, my goal was I wanted to take a soft tissue injury case and get $1 million verdict. That was like my goal. And I did it. And then my goal was, okay, well, if I could take a chiro only case and get $1 million, I'm going to go get a $9 million or $10 million or $20 million case. And I did it. But I didn't do it just because a case just fell in my lap. Like, I truly feel like all the cases we've had in our firm, we had to work the holy hell out of them. Like, you had to hold the client's hand. You had to make them go treat. You had to tell them why they couldn't give up when they just wanted to quit and they just wanted to take whatever offer was and leave. Like, you had to really sit there and really hold their hand. And they're like, well, I'm about to lose my house. Well, it's okay. We have a funding company. Literally, like, the house was on the auction block and we had to go and buy the house from auction because they couldn't make their payments. And we bought our client's house for them. And then with the settlement money, they paid their house back off because we got close to a $12 million settlement for the client, but they lost everything. And so we had funding companies bought their cars and their house so they could function. And it was a really bad case with the TBI, but it was one of those where they didn't want to believe the TBI because it was a really slow brain bleed, right? And 535 days as a vegetable. The guy lived in his living room as a vegetable, and the wife was losing everything because she took care of him before he died. And insurance company thought his value of his life was like $600,000. I'm like, you're kidding me, right? But I wouldn't have got that case where it was if it wasn't coming to seminars like we are today in Houston, like learning from guys like Mark Lanier, learning from the Don Keenans of the world, or going to TLU and learning from those guys, and all those different instructors in these seminars that are showing you like, hey, this is how you operate. This is how you either work in a courtroom. This is how you need to work a file. These are the things that you need to go get. Because nobody teaches you that in law school. Like, you read a book, here's a theory, you pass a theory exam. To me, that's just the bar. Like, the bar is not real life. Like, it's all theory and principle, but that's not how the real world works when you start practicing. And so going out there, getting those things, and then getting that case, and then going, oh my God, how do I build this? I'd have never known if that case just fell in my lap. I needed to go get a life care planner. I needed a neurologist. I needed a neuropsychologist expert. I needed this expert. I needed to grab an 18-wheeler expert. I never would have realized that I was going to spend close to $80-something thousand just in experts to go get a $12 million verdict. I had no clue, right? So I forced myself to go to all these seminars, and I was like, oh my God, I learned so much. I was like, when's the next one? Oh my God, where's the next one? And I just started absorbing all this information because all I wanted to do was be the best. I just wanted to be better. My ambition was just driving me to go get the next one and go get the next one. And it panned out. So that's my go-to is like, I don't want a bunch of me's because I want to only be me. Like I just want to be the guy, but I do want to know, like, are you hungry? Like, are you going to do what it takes? Like, is your spouse going to be supportive of you reaching your goal? Because if your goal is to be the best trial lawyer, then how are you going to get there? Because if you're not going to seminars, if you're not reading books, if you're not in a courtroom, if you're not working on a Saturday or a Sunday or working at night, you're never going to be the guy.
Yeah.
Like, it's just not going to happen. And so we got a $700,000 verdict on mental anguish, only mental anguish. She went to a talk therapist 6 years after the wreck. Really bad wreck. How she walked away with no injuries, how nobody died in the wreck is still like beyond me. Our client's car flipped 4 times. You look at it, it was an accordion. Like, you're like, how in the world did you not die? And walked away without a scratch, dude. Like, it was the craziest thing, but mentally she was messed up. She went on to law school, peer review. She was top of her class. She got so hyper-focused, and it was just like crazy, but that's what her TBI did for her. And I've had other clients who go the other way. They're in church, there's no tattoos, and next thing you know, they left the church, they're tatted up, they've married some dude that you never thought they would marry, and they have babies, and their life is totally flipped upside down to what their dreams were. And then you have her she wanted to be a vet, and she left that and became a lawyer because she went to something safe, and veterinarian and horses was something that wasn't safe because that would have made her a failure to her family, so she chose law school. So she chose a different career, but was more hyper-focused, and she went away from all of her friends and drinking and doing all the things, and she just got like, doosh. And it wasn't until she went on a cruise when she graduated law school that the boat started to rock, and they were in really bad waters, and they were trying to dock, that she had a total like flip-out moment. And it was at that moment her parents were like, oh my God, this wreck messed you up. Everything Stephen's been saying to us to be looking for, like, it's happened. And they kept telling me she was fine. I'm like, well, I can't settle a case. There's no money in this case. And I was like, you just need to take this $10,000 offer that they're offering you because you're not injured. And they were like, no, something's wrong with her. And I'm like, well, explain to me what's wrong with your daughter. And nobody could explain it. And then all of a sudden that incident happened, and she calls me up. She goes, I think I need help. I'm like, okay. She found a talk therapist, and we went to the most conservative venue in the state and got a $700,000 verdict. And the largest verdict in that case for a car wreck injury was like $25,000. The biggest med mal in that case was like $400,000. So simple car wreck, and I say simple, but no injury, mental anguish for $700,000. And then we went and got $1.5 million after that on the same type of deals. Like, but you don't get there without the want to and the desire and the learning how to do it. So that's my go-to question. Like, where are you going to be in 5 years?
So
what do you want?
I have a question for you. How do you manage finding those people and then navigating the path of keeping them on the team versus them going off and doing their own thing? So a lot of those people at some point want to leave and start their own firm, just like you did.
I hope they do it.
Yes.
God bless them. Like, look, I say this to everybody. God gave me a lot of talent, and the biggest probably talent is my mouth and the gift of gab and to create friendships with people and just enjoy people and enjoy life. And so I'm using the talent he gave me in a courtroom, and I love it. Like, my jam, voir dire, opening statement, closing. You can have everything in between. Give me a voir dire, I can sit there and ask you for 2 hours questions to try to bond with you. I'm in love. Like, it's just my thing, right? If I get a lawyer that comes in and they want to learn everything from me and they want to go start their own firm, God bless them, go do it, because it means I made you a better person than you were the day you walked into my law firm. And if I did that and you go out and you create your own firm and you succeed, I succeeded in life, because I passed on the talents that God gave me to you to make you a better person and to take care of your family. If you came in and you had nothing and you stay with me and you're like, dude, you brought me here, I'm with you, like, hey, I'm going to reward you by giving you the right cases, the bigger cases to support your family. If you got a bad year, hell, don't worry about it. I'm going to take care of you. Like, and I've bonus lawyers who don't make numbers because I know what they do for the firm. I know where their family is. Like, here, we're going to take care of each other. And if you leave me to better yourself, God bless you, all the power to you. But if you leave me out of jealousy, you leave me because it's too much work, you leave me because of this, then I have to analyze, did I fail in not giving them the tools or teaching them how to be better lawyers, or did I just hire the wrong person? And so, I mean, knock on wood, man, we've been very blessed. We've been at it 15 years. I've got people that have been with me 14, 12, Lawyers have been with me 8 and 6. Everybody's been with us at least 2+ years now. And then we've expanded, so we've got some newbies starting in July. We're hiring like 6 more people in July, but we've been really blessed by just how we do it. And again, if you want to go, like, if I was in your shoes and Jen wanted to leave and she's like, dude, I'm gonna go start my own, I'm like, you're not taking my client, but if you can go do it, God bless you. Like, hey, I will. If I have a client that I can't handle and they want you, hey, dude, it's your case. Go, you take it. I want you to be successful. That means I did what God gave me, and I gave you the keys and the talent to do it. And not everybody goes, well, that's crazy, you're giving up money. No, because I think God's going to reward me down the road because I can't take it with me. Mm-hmm. It's not going to, like I tell my wife, it doesn't affect our marriage. It doesn't affect the way we grow our kids, right? Like, God's going to provide. He's always provided. We've always worked. So I think as long as we keep doing what we're doing and we're happy and we're content, it doesn't really matter to me. Like, I'll be upset because I lost a great person, but as long as I'm friends with them and I'm helping them grow, like, hey, man, all the power to you. There's enough cases for everybody. There's enough work for everybody. I just don't want you to make a lateral move. I want you to make an upward move.
I would say that it's interesting on the lawyer side. Like, I've become friends with a lot of lawyers just being in the industry, and like, I think the biggest complaint I hear from a lot of them, they're like, I invested all this time with this lawyer and they left, and they're pretty bitter about it.
Oh, well, I mean, yeah, you think about it, but you are. But here's the thing. And I don't mean to cut you off, but here's the thing. You knew that going in when you hired them. Like, okay, so like, I hired one of my closest friends growing up. I hired him and his brother, right?
Yeah.
Okay, they could go off and start their own law firm. Their father had his own law firm before he passed away, and they were doing other things. They decided to come into law like 10 years after he passed, right? So if they want to go start their own law firm, okay, like, dude, if that's what you want, God bless you. You're carrying on a family legacy and tradition. I know that when I hired you. Like, I knew that was a possibility. Like, any lawyer in my law firm, I know that there's a possibility that they're going to go in a different direction at some point in life. And if they do it, man, God bless them. I took the risk. Yeah. Like, it's like, okay, sounds kind of stupid. I'll put you this way. It's like hiring you. I hired our digital, or our digital hired me. Like, it was an interview process, right? I met with John. We had some Zoom calls. We're like, I need y'all. You're like, we don't really need you, Mez, but hey, look, like, it's like, look, we can help you. And I'm like, guys, I really need y'all. And you're like, yeah, we probably can help you. I'm like, no, when can we start? I need you. Oh man, we can, it'll be fun. But it's like, at some point, what if you outgrow me? Mm-hmm. Your business changes where you don't need me. I took that risk because I came to you saying, I need help. Mm-hmm. Like, I came to y'all, right? Then what happens if all of a sudden I get to the point where I've exceeded what you could do for me and I got to go somewhere else because I got to grow? Mm-hmm. Well, as long as I'm having this conversation with you and I'm saying, hey, Mark, dude, this is where I need to be. Like, what's going on? And you're like, well, we don't do that, or I don't know how to get you there. Then if I say, well, hey, man, who can? And you say, well, shit, Stephen, nobody can because nobody does that in the industry. Okay, or hey, you need to go see so-and-so.
Yeah.
Okay, well, at that point, we have to respect each other enough to say, hey, man, I'm doing this, right? And I'm going to move or I'm going to do something. What happens where lawyers get mad is if we're not communicating and one day you just cut me off and it's like, Mez, you're fired. Love you as a person, you're great, but I don't want your business. I don't want your law firm anymore. You're just too much to handle. You're done. I'm bitter and I'm pissed, right? Same thing with lawyers. If a lawyer's not talking to the owner saying, hey man, this is what I want to be, this is where I want to go, and then I try to steal your clients when I go start my own firm, heck yeah, man, every lawyer should be pissed off about it. But you got no reason to be mad investing in a lawyer to build your law firm because that's what you chose to do. And so if you chose it, you got to own it. But you got to make sure that that lawyer's happy, and you got to keep communicating with your lawyers like, where are you in 5 years? Where do you want to be now? Like, every year I analyze my staff. We do a 2-year contract. Every 2 years we renew the contract. It automatically renews, right? But every year I sit down with them in June and in December, and I say, where are you? Are you happy? What do I need to make your life happy? What are you missing that you need from this law firm that could help your career grow? I need more training. I need more education. I need AI. I need this. I need whatever. It's at your fingertips. What do you want? Okay, let's go find it and go get it. Is that a consensus with all the lawyers, or is that just you? And then I also look at them and go, I've invested a lot of time and money in Jen, but Jen, you're not hitting the core principles of our law firm. Like, do I really want Jen on my team next year? Like, and that's a hard thing to do because I've invested 6 years in Jen now, and I'm like, see ya.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like, I hear lawyers talk about it all the time, and I get really, and they all get mad at me, like, because I'm like, dude, how did you not know this? What did you do when you left your firm? Because you didn't just start and hang your shingle and grew a law firm, right? You left somebody. Did you or did you not take cases? Okay, well, I did X, Y, and Z. Okay, what comes around goes around, brother. Or I did it this way. Okay, well, wish them the best of luck. Go work out a deal in your cases and don't look back. Because to me, the greatest thing is when they come crawling back asking you for their job back. And you have two choices. And really, it's probably one. No. Yeah. Right? But I mean, if somebody's good to you and you know what you're getting into, then, you know, it's just kind of like one of those things. Like, I don't know. I just look at it so differently. I'm sure, I mean, I'll be pissed in the moment, but at the end of the day, it's like, I tell my wife all the time, what are you going to do if so-and-so leaves? I knew it when I heard him.
I'll figure it out.
I mean, like, I was like, I don't truly believe, and I could be wrong, your team helps you grow, right? You and John had a vision, or you had a vision, or whoever had the vision, right? Y'all grew that vision and made something great with your company, right? But without you, who had the vision? Like, the company doesn't work without you, right? So it's not the lawyer that made the company. It's the owner who had the vision. It's his principles. It's the way he wants to do things that all the other people are following that makes the company great. Mm-hmm. So I'm just like, dude, go do your thing, man. Like, shake it off. Like, you got the cases, there's other talent out there, like, go do your thing. And then it's like, oh, but it's so much work. You'd be surprised it's not as much work as you think. We just fear the unknown. Yeah. Like, I think it's humanly, we're wired to fear something, you know? So you fear it. And I'm just like, I'm not gonna fear anything. Like, that's probably my downfall. I'm not gonna fear it. Like, it just is, it's gonna be what it's gonna be. Like, I can't, you know, I can't stop it. And you can't control people, and you can't control what other people think. So I have to be true to myself every day. I have to be true to my wife first. Then I got to be true to the firm. And if I do those things, I think everything works itself out, and everything will be okay. And you just got to keep living your life that way. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
You're right. I was like,
probably got cows, and that's why I feel this way. I don't know.
No, that's beautiful.
I don't know a better way to end the episode than on that. I'm jazzed up. It's like a high school locker room speech right now.
This was not what I was expecting for the podcast, but hey, there you go.
I had a bunch of follow-up questions I didn't get to get into, but
I'm sorry.
No, it was great. Thank you so much for being on. I loved every part of the conversation. I look forward to continuing this off camera, but thank you for joining us. Awesome. We loved having you on, and I would like to have you back because there's many more things I'd like to go down.
Dude, and whenever, dude, I'm always available for you guys.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Hey guys, I'm Steven Mezrano, and you're watching the Jen Marc Podcast.